Let's talk about a specific date, January 19th, 2026. You're going to want to remember this one because this is the day that AI stopped being just a promise, this far off idea, and it became a cold, hard, physical reality. Literally, today, everything changed. I mean, for years, right, we've all been talking about AI in terms of what it could do, its potential. Well, as of this morning, you can just toss that idea out the window. The whole era of let's just experiment and see what happens, it's over, done. Because today, AI became something else, something real, something you can almost touch. It's physical now, it's structural. Think about it this way. It's no longer just some abstract code floating around in the cloud. It's now a real, tangible piece of our global infrastructure. We're talking as fundamental as the power grid or the water coming out of your tap. Okay, so that brings us to our first big topic, the new scale. We're talking about power and silicon here, and we're moving from megawatts to gigawatts. This is a whole new ballgame. So 1 gigawatt, that's the number you need to know today. Why? Because down in Memphis, Tennessee, xAI just flipped the switch on Colossus 2. This is the world's first AI supercomputer to smash through that gigawatt barrier. To put that in perspective, that is enough juice to power a major metropolitan city. And all of that energy is being pointed at one single thing, training AI. And the specs on this thing are just mind-blowing. We're talking 200,000 top-of-the-line H100 GPUs spread out over an area the size of 13 football fields. 13! And get this, they're already planning to double it. As you can probably guess, this has immediately put them on a collision course with the EPA over just how much energy they're using. So a brand new battleground for AI has just opened up. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that the race to build AGI isn't just about writing clever algorithms anymore. Not at all. It's now a full-blown energy and logistics war. The winners are going to be the ones who can lock down massive amounts of power and build these compute fortresses. Now, as all that power scales up, something else pretty amazing is happening. The actual cost of AI thinking is just falling through the floor. Over at Davos, NVIDIA just pulled the curtain back on its new Rubin platform. And this chart right here shows you everything you need to know. It's dropping the cost of generating AI tokens, the basic building blocks of AI reasoning, by a factor of 10, from $1 down to 10 cents, just like that. And let me tell you, that is an absolute game changer. See, when high-level reasoning gets this cheap, the whole value proposition shifts. It's not just about building the smartest model in the lab anymore. No, the real money, the real prize, goes to whoever figures out how to weave that super cheap intelligence into actual industries, manufacturing, healthcare, you name it, and completely transform them from the ground up. Okay, so you've got all this incredible new hardware, but it needs new software to run it, right? A totally new kind of AI brain. And what we're seeing is this incredible leap from AI being just a helpful co-pilot to becoming an autonomous project lead. And the core of this new brain is a breakthrough from OpenAI in their new GPT-5.1. It's called adaptive reasoning. The simplest way to think about it is this. The AI is now smart enough to know when it needs to really, think hard about a problem and when it can just fire off a quick, easy answer. It's like having a calculator for simple math and a supercomputer for complex physics, all in one. And this makes it unbelievably efficient, which is going to save users a ton of money. And that efficiency unlocks something pretty wild. What they're calling the 24-hour agent. There's this new technique called compaction. It basically just makes the AI's memory way more streamlined. And because of that, the developer model, Codex Max, can now take on a complex coding project and just work on it for over a full day, straight, with zero human supervision. You give it a brief and it just goes until the job is done. So how is this even possible? Well, OpenAI is giving the AI direct hands-on control of the computer. Check out these new tools they've rolled out. You've got Shell, which lets it run commands directly on a local machine. You've got Apply Patch, which lets it edit code however it sees fit. This is so much more than just an app now. It's basically becoming an agentic OS, an operating system run by an agent. So if you take away one thing from this section, let it be this. We are literally watching the birth of the autonomous digital employee. AI is no longer just a tool you pick up and use. It's a team member you deploy on a project. Of course, all this incredible power doesn't just exist in a tech bubble. It has real-world consequences. And that brings us to the human side of the story, the people and the policies. We're talking about the human drama and the global guardrails being put in place. And wow, is the competition for talent getting heated. The biggest drama of the day is that 3 key researchers from the super hot startup Thinking Machines Lab have just been poached right back by their old bosses at OpenAI. The lab's leader, Murati, immediately put out this statement, saying one of them, Zoph, was actually terminated for unethical conduct. But OpenAI wasn't having any of it. They fired right back with a quote from their own spokesperson, Simo, who said, "Nope, this move had been in the works for weeks." It's just a crystal clear sign of how absolutely vicious the fight for top-tier AI talent has become. It's no holds barred. And here's why this matters beyond just the drama. We're seeing a huge shift in the mindset of these elite researchers. It's a cash over equity trend. They're starting to favor the security of a massive, guaranteed cash offer from a big player like OpenAI over the risky promise of startup equity. Basically, their skills have become a liquid commodity, and they are cashing in, big time. Meanwhile, on the global stage, the rules of the road are getting a lot more solid. South Korea just made a huge move, becoming the first major economy to fully enforce a massive AI law, the AI Basic Act. Now, this is different from the EU's approach, which is kind of rolling out in stages. South Korea is flipping the switch on everything at once, with a really strong focus on building trust while still pushing for innovation. And you can't overstate how big of a deal this is. This is a tectonic shift. It means the era of borderless AI development is basically over. Labs like OpenAI and Google can't just run their global operations out of Silicon Valley anymore. Now they are subject to local, sovereign jurisdiction. They have to play by the local rules, which means the age of structural accountability has officially arrived. All right, last but not least, let's follow the money, because all of this, the new power, the new brains, the new rules, it's all fueling a trillion-dollar pivot in the markets. A new study from IBM that just dropped today gives us a perfect snapshot of where the corporate money is heading. And look at this pivot. For a while, it was all about using AI for efficiency, right? Cutting costs. That's the 2026 slice. But now executives are shifting hard. They're targeting innovation and growth. By 2030, nearly 2/3 of all AI spending is going to be aimed at inventing completely new business models and products. And the public markets, they are bracing for an absolutely historic flood of capital. What's this number? $3 trillion. That is the rumored combined valuation for OpenAI, SpaceX, and Anthropic. And the word on the street is that all 3 are getting ready for monster IPOs this year. The year of the mega IPOs is here. But let's ask the question, what's the result of all this? Could it be an AI oligarchy? When you have that much money and power concentrated in just 3 or 4 companies, it can create what's called a liquidity vacuum. It sucks all the investment oxygen out of the room, starving smaller startups of funding. You could end up with a world where only a handful of public giants can even afford to play at the highest level. So let's wrap it up here. Just think about what happened today. In a single day, AI got the power of a city and the logic of a CEO. The fundamental question for our time is no longer, can it think? We know it can. The real question, the one that matters now, is, can we steer it wisely?